On the 11th of May, Southern governors in Nigeria got together to discuss on certain issues that affected them as states in the southern part of Nigeria. And one of such issues was the open grazing situation that has led to quite a lot of other challenges, one of which is insecurity in Nigeria. Now, the outcome of that meeting, which is popularly now being called the Asaba Declaration, has raised some dust in different quarters of the country. Today on Hot Topics, I have a very interesting guest, and together we're going to look into it. What are the issues? Are they asking for too much, or is it okay, the things that they've asked? And we'll also be looking at who has reacted to the Asaba Declaration. Welcome on Hot Topics. My name is Uju Umwachukwu. On the show today, I'm going to be introducing my guest. He's Prince Timothy Ofebu. He's a journalist, amongst other things, and he is so interested in this conversation, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you are too. Welcome, Prince.
Thank you, Drew, and thank you, our audience, for tuning in.
All right, so the Asaba Declaration, as it's popularly called, there are four major issues you mentioned earlier, three major issues apart from open grazing. Can you tell us about them?
Okay, thank you. Let me start by saying this, that the Southern Governors shocked everybody, I'm sure, including themselves. They shocked the Southerners, they shocked the Northerners, they shocked the entire nation and the entire world, because people have been anticipating this kind of a meeting. People elected you. You are the CEO of your state and the chief security officers. Yeah. All the lands in your states are in your hands, at least according to Land Act Decree of 1978. Every land in every state of this country is in the hand of the state governor. And when all these noises and all manner of things are being said, they kept mute. And that's why some people were wondering, why are they governors in the first place? So for them to come together at all, whether they say something or they didn't say something, honestly, it was a landmark. And by the time you go through their 12-point agenda in their communique, someone like me read it and said, wow, I couldn't believe that our governors are this bold. Let me start by saying that nobody owns this country. This country is owned jointly by all the ethnic groups in Nigeria, owns every length and breadth of this country. And when particular group is complaining bitterly, the others ought to listen. And I think what the governors did was drawing the attention of the federal government of the mood in their various states. Our people are not happy with some certain things. And just as you asked maybe for the four major things they said, among others, number one, the ban on open grazing. And then number two, the need for improved security, which may be possible through state police. Number three, the lopsided appointments, especially in some sensitive areas, including security. And then finally, they were worried about some certain aspects of this country being restructured. They mentioned devolution of powers. Too much power is in the hands of the presidency, the center. These are the four major issues.
Okay. Now, I know that the issue of open grazing has garnered a lot of support, even from some northern governors, but then there are some in some quarters who are outrightly against it, who are saying, how can you say that people should not pursue their livelihood? You know, if we are supposed to be one Nigeria, how would you restrict people of a certain tribe who thrive in this particular means of survival from doing their business?
Well, I grew up and started seeing Fulani hates boys, because in our time they were wearing headsmen. Even till today, we know there are little boys and girls holding sticks with hundreds of cows roaming the street. Nobody disturbs them. They don't disturb anybody. But if you suddenly see men holding AK-47 and AK-49 and allegedly kidnapping people, raping women, and their cows and cattle and livestock, destroying farms. And there are some killings that even the police and DSS have traced to these alleged herdsmen. People die, family wipe out, farms worth millions, billions destroyed. So I think what the Southern governors are doing is saying, wait a minute, this is private business, it's not government business. Yeah. Who owns these cows? Are they from the skies? In 21st century, where in the world do you now say that cows and animals be roaming the streets, including the international airports, shopping malls, places of worship, people farms, people homes, roaming them? So they are trying to say, just pay attention to what people are saying. Practice modern ranching. Put your cows in one place. In fact, I was watching Channels television on Sunday from 8 o'clock to 9 on Sunday Politics on Channels. And one of the distinguished senators from the East, His Excellency Senator Rachel Sokrosha, even brought two issues that are being neglected in this open grazing controversy. Number one, he says something about child abuse. He said, how can you allow little children below the age of 15 to trek from Sokoto and Maiduguri to southeast and south-south? It's child abuse. Human rights supposed to look at that angle too. And he now talk about the multi-billion industry that is being neglected in this cow business. Now, with all due respect to my Fulani brothers and sisters, I am not in Federal Inland Revenue. Okay. I'm not working in Federal Ministry of Finance. But I think we will ask the question, who are they paying taxes to? Okay. Do they pay VAT? What value chain is their open grazing creating? For instance, now, if they have been in a ranch, the Federal Inland Revenue can come there and count 1,000 cows, each worth 200 or 250,000, and you know that 13% is going to the federal government. So who collect these taxes? These are the issues that people are not asking. So when that distinguished senator was talking, I was also seeing the business opportunities. Do you know when you keep them in a ranch, the people that are looking after these cattle will be employed. Yeah. People that are bringing feeds for them, they will be there. People taking them from in trailers to the south, we bake it. What are people who are working in the abattoir there, killing them, people that be coming to buy from them, people that be collecting the manure, even the hooves are good for the ivories, they use it for ceramics. So there are so many good things that will come out of it if they are in one place. But when you go to somebody's neighborhood with AK-47, with AK-49, and you are killing them, and their governors came out and said that this is not the modern way to do business, you say they are against you. They are not against you. They are telling you we're in the 21st century. Take your cow. Imagine every Igbo man in the north carrying the spare pairs on the head, carrying the clothes he's selling in boutique in here, roaming the street. What kind of confusion will that be?
Now, there's the argument that this has been the way of life. These are nomads, and that is their way of life. That's what has always been, you know. So making them to, how do I put it now, be restricted within a ranch would be different from how they've always known. What's your take on that argument?
They are nomads. They stay in their own zone. If you are nomads, you say you can't do modern business in 21st century. For God's sake, be in your own area. Nobody is disturbing you there. But don't bring it to another person's area. That's the argument. Okay. And by the way, I'm shocked that it's not the best Fulanis can say to the world that they have been nomads since the days of Adam. What about their brothers in the presidency? What about their brothers being ministers and governors? What are they talking about? People are saying, this is 21st century. There are other ways you can do this thing. Okay. If we are talking about peace and harmony, and now the herdsmen that are alleged to have guns are saying that people are disturbing them, and you are now armed to take care of your cattle. What if the Igbo man that is selling spare parts or selling boutique or selling electrical parts is also armed, that people are disturbing him in his own business? What have they? And when you say that they can be in a place, in a ranch, how come they settle in a forest? Because when you go, I've been to one of the forests where they settled somewhere. They build a community around their mud houses, you know. So if they can, after doing this, roaming about, they can go one place and settle, take their bath, take care of their children, their women become pregnant. They can also be in a ranch. So I don't believe it.
All right. Now, talking about this, I know that some northern governors rather have come out to say, oh, we actually do support this because to see the long-term effect that it has had, and we're looking to the future and we see that open grazing is not sustainable in the long run with security challenges that we're currently facing and all. Meanwhile, in some quarters, some others have said, specifically the Accountant General of the Federation, Attorney General of the Federation has come out to say, you cannot ask people to stop their way of life. What if, because they are encroaching, in quote, in your area, what if we asked your people in our area to leave, or if we banned your people in our area from trading or from doing whatever it is? So, you know, how do you weigh that? If
there are two
if some
different...
northerners are saying, oh, we support you, let it be banned, and some are saying, no, we don't. If you
I listened to the governor of Benue State, Governor Otom. He was the face, I think even on Wednesday, has supported them because the alleged herdsmen had killed over 500 people in the Benue State. Remember, he even had to leave APC to join PDP because of it, in anger. And that place is vandalized, their crop destroyed, people don't go to farms again. So that place is called the food basket of the nation. So he knows what he's talking about. And if the governor can come out like that and support the Southerners, there is something he saw that others are not seeing. As for the Attorney General and Chief Justice, he's entitled to his own opinion. Okay. But I don't know if he had traveled like me. I have been to the 36 states of this country. And I'm now living in Abuja. So I can talk about what I know. For instance, in Borno State, in capital city called Maiduguri, where Igbos are doing their spare part businesses called Bank of the North, because that was where a popular bank called Bank of the North was before. And you know what? They hire shops from the owners, yes, or buy houses to put their waste, creating value chain. The man who sold the houses or rent the shops to them is paying tax to the government. Okay, so for you, it's literally about that. Wait, and then they too put their goods there. The State Inland Revenue Services can come and evaluate the goods in the shop, and the Igbo man will pay both the tax and the VAT. And most of the time, the Kanuri woman or women and some Hausa women will begin to put their waste near these shops so that they can buy minerals, soft drinks, they can buy food. You see how value chain is created? Same with in Sabon Gerikano. Same with Ahmad Bello Kaduna. Same in Guza. I've been there. I've met with my brothers. They stay in a place. So it has become an insecurity issue. And this is what the governors are discussing. So it's not the issue of somebody selling spare parts or selling boutique, electrical parts. They are not the same. Go to them. All of them obey the law. They stay in one place.
All right, now let's talk about the body language of the federal government on this issue. So far, I don't know, has the president said anything towards that?
In fact, it's one of the things the southern governors even put in their communique that our president will talk. Communication is everything. If the head of the family is not talking to the wife and the children, they won't know what is going on in the family. So we have a president that one way or the other is not talking. Either Lai Mohammed, the day he wants to talk, we talk. Garba Shehu, we talk. Femi Adesina, we talk. Attorney General, we talk. Did we elect them as president? These are political appointees. We need the president to come out openly and say, gentlemen and ladies, fellow Nigerians, let there be peace. Okay. And I thank the Miata Allah. The Miata Allah have read the handwritings on the wall. Okay. And they say to their brethren that are breeding these cattle and cows and others, come back. We will do something. And the Kano State government have done wonderful. Hundreds of thousands of hectares of the land now have been prepared for ranching. Kano will take it off. And I know that states are beginning to build ranch. So we keep on saying 21st century. Cows, do you know that milking them, all the milk industry from cowbell to milk, will they be chasing these Fulani people from one forest or the other? When they know you have 10,000 cows in one ranch, do you know the quantity of milk they will produce every day? You come and take it at once. They don't know business, honestly. We're even saying it to their own advantage. There's business and go to it.
All right, it's hot topics on the Rich TV, and today I've been speaking with Prince Timothy of Webu, and we've been talking about the Asaba Declaration. In case you don't know what that is, that's where we had 17 Southern governors come together, and he says it's a feat, it's a good thing.
It's a landmark. It's
a
bomb.
landmark, yes.
Yeah.
You know, 17 of those governors sit down and put heads together to come to an agreement on certain issues that range from open grazing to state policing to the lopsided appointments and in government and some other issues. So the open grazing, yes, we're focused on that a lot, but we're hoping, like the governors are also hoping, that the president would, speak to the people about these issues, because we are all affected one way or the other. They may not be touching your farm, but they are affecting someone else's farm, or someone's family has been, put in pain because someone has been kidnapped. So one thing or the other, one way or the other, is affecting each and every one of us. We're hoping that we see a resolution of this matter, and we're also hoping for the restructuring that the governors are calling for to occur. Before we go, I'd like to have your take on that restructuring. Is it feasible, or is it just building castles in the clouds?
He who fights and run away lives to fight another day.
That's your conclusion on that?
1999 Constitution is not working.
Yeah, you mentioned
because it's not the people's constitution. The military government under Abdul Salami Abubakar calls on senior lawyers, put them in a hotel, and ask them to produce constitution. Where is it done in anywhere in the world? So people are saying, let's take a second look at that constitution. Let it be people's constitution.
Okay.
Call all sections of this country to have input. And we even say we will have presidential system of government. Do we agree? It's very expensive. Ghana is not practicing it. South Africa is not practicing. Kenya is not practicing. How many countries in Africa are practicing it? Just because they took American constitution, same few was there. Where there's America, they put Nigeria. You have Senate here, you have Senate here, you have Congress, you have House of Rep, you have CIA. Okay, let's have a, what do we call it, DSS. And something like that. Is that constitution? So we are saying so many things are wrong there, even from the federal character, which I think the federal government is not even obeying. Because if the federal government is obeying the federal character that's in 1999 Constitution, there is no way an Igbo person will not be in one of the security heads. You can't have about 9 security in this country and no Igbo man is there. Its federal character say no section of this country will take particular job. That top jobs will not go to one section of this country. But we are not talking about that. Why state police is an issue, I said it the last time you invited me, is that policing is something you do with local intelligence gathering. And that Damu, going to Imo State, knows nothing about Imo State. He's not from there. He can't speak their language. He's not maybe having anything to do with the locals, and he'll be there. If Timothy Ofebu is a policeman, you are sending me to Zamfara to be the commissioner of police in Zamfara, what will I do? When you mention Kaura Namoda, I don't know there. When you mention Talata Mafara, I don't know their Guzo, I don't know their language, I don't know their culture. How will I fight the bandits there? That's what people are saying. So the devolution of powers is that remove so much money from the center. So much power. And give it to states and let there be functional local government, which the states are sabotaged, not the federal government. And let there be. How can you say that all waters in Nigeria belong to the federal government? that no state can build port until the federal government allows. Who even said that every airport in Nigeria belongs to the federal government? Railway. No state can build railway except the federal government.
Wow.
So when you begin to hear this thing, you say, are we indeed ready for development? So Anambra State now, after building this airport, they are handing it over to federal government. We can't build railway that can connect Onitsha to Nnewi for easy trade. No. It must be through federal government. So states are saying, wait a minute, what is this? And individuals are saying, what is it? Do you know the worst? Okechukwu, Bola, and Ibrahim are all students of Oxford Secondary School, Abuja. They took JAM the same day. And Okechukwu scored 320, want to read medicine. Bola scored 280, she wants to read medicine. And Ibrahim scores 90, he wants to read medicine. You say Okechukwu and Bola will not go because they are not from educationally disadvantaged states. Let Ibrahim go. Honestly, when I say that Nigeria actually believe in this kind of a thing, it makes me to be ashamed. And that's what people are asking for. So restructuring is in every area, from education sector to transportation sector to inland sector. If the Anambra State and Delta government want to dredge River Niger and turn it to a sea, it is their business. But it can't happen because every water is under the federal government. I think that is what the states are asking for.
All right, we will on another edition of this program take a lot of time to break it down so that the average Nigerian begins to understand exactly what is happening around him, so we get the much needed education and information on national issues. But for today, we'll draw the curtain on today's episode of Hot Topics. Thank you once again, Prince Timothy, for coming.
Thank you, Nigerians. We believe in peace, we believe in unity, and we believe in progress. Most importantly, we believe that no section of this country will be marginalized. Whether Southern and Northern governors, we can agree to disagree, but in one brotherhood we stand.
Thank you very much. In one brotherhood we stand indeed. Thank you once again for staying tuned and for watching our videos. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share these videos to your friends and family. My name is Uju. Thank you very much for being with me. See you next time on Hot Topics.